I know I've said this before, but can this year end already? I'm sure everyone else has that same feeling. But once again, been a while since I've done any furry stuff, mainly because there hasn't been much going on. But I'll go ahead and get into what has been going on, and I'll start off with the conventions that usually are supposed to be going on, but are not. So far, I don't know if this is the same thing I told you before that uh, HCon for the time being, unless. Yeah, I cannot read German. Let me see if I can translate that. It's so this is a rough translation for HCon because of this, it says that for now still on, but this is the latest one they have. It says hello again. HCon takes place more or less normally. This time we already pulled up the on-site channel. There are now all participants who had indicated their Telegram nickname in the registration. If someone had not been pulled in, please report to Milan, Palm, or Wolfire. In this channel, all questions that still arise due to the situation can be asked. I've entered all those who have indicated in the reg or have contacted me directly. Those who are still missing, please report to Milan, Palm, or Wolfire. Because then the authorization to be invited or simply not entered to the reg is missing. It's because the data play. Yeah, I know the translation is kind of rough, but from what I can tell, this one is still on. From what I can tell, and it says here, I hope they have not updated this. So, but the other ones, Confertiva, that has been postponed to November 20th to 22nd, and it's looking to be a virtual con only. I'm just going to skip all those that have outright canceled. For Apocalypse, they're going to make this one virtual only. Let's see. Furry Summer Mexico was supposed to be for July 25th to 26th, but it has now been postponed till November 21st and 22nd. Again, that may change. Like I said, Midwest Furfest, as I said before, canceled for this year. To my knowledge, I don't know if they're going to have a virtual event. And we already mentioned New Year's Fur Bowl is going to be virtual only. For those in 2021, we've already mentioned Japan meeting Furries was canceled. Further Confusion intends to have a virtual event. Nordic FuzzCon has postponed theirs, but they have not said to when. Furry Ski Weekend and Anthro New England both were canceled. We've already mentioned Fur Squared is going to go virtual only. And now the last con that I went to before the whole shutdown occurred, Blue Ridge Fur Fair, that will be a virtual event only. So very unfortunate for that to happen. Like I said, I hope sometime after that we'll get back to normal if we ever get the vaccine out. But that's pretty much where we stand at this time. To some Disney stuff, and there's quite a bit of it. First off, they keep doing the live action remakes, but this time, this one is a live action prequel. And this is something I have not seen before. They're going to do a live action prequel to The Lion King. Now, there has been a sequel on the animated version, which that one was all right. Not even close to being good as the first. As far as when they're going to release it, We don't know, but they said they intend to release it in theaters. Uh, my thoughts on this, I mean, well, first off, the idea of a prequel for Lion King, I do want to explore in. Um, so this is before Simba's time, to the time of Mufasa, Scar. So I do want to see where this goes. I just wish that this was in animated form and not in live action form. That's just what's so unfortunate about it. Because while at the same time, and I know they work so hard on trying to make these characters realistic on the live action version, you can still tell that it's computer animated. But at least with full color animation, I know what I'm seeing, and you could do so much more on that. So we'll just have to see what happens. That's not been the only Disney thing that's been going on. Uh, they have they put out that they are going to be laying off employees around 28,000. Most of them are part-time jobs, but they have taken out some full-timers um, as well as seasonal. They blame this on because that they would not that California would not let Disneyland California open, and I have a hard time believing that, considering that Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world and they make so much money. And the parks are not the only thing that they get their money from. They get it from movies, they get it from their television networks. Remember, they own ABC, ESPN. They have so much. And I find it hard to believe that they are struggling on money, that they have to lay off employees. And not to mention that there is a few other parks that are open, including in Florida. They do have them open, but at limited capacity. And like I said, they're also going to lay off 8,857 part-time union employees. And I do have to mention that both the company and the union have been negotiating on this. And what I understand was that so yeah, here's what I understand based on what was told to me. Um, if they are laid off, the union employees, they will have priority for 2 years on getting their job back if their jobs open back up. But they've also said that they could be offered a different position in the company. But if they do that, then that's going to be their permanent position. They can't go back to their old job. So yeah, it's kind of a mess as far as those that are working there. Um, but it did get me curious as to why Disney is doing this. So what I did was that I looked up their most recent financial report. So this is their financials for their third quarter. So here's their revenues from this shows the the third quarter period from this year and last year for comparison. And it also has the revenues to date for their annual report. For this quarter, June 22nd, they've earned 11 point I'm going to round it up, $11.8 billion, compared to last year they raked in 20.2 billion in revenues, and that is a 42% drop from last year, which really the drop should not be a surprise. And but to date, as far as annually, they've actually gone just a little bit higher than last year. Last year, $50.48 billion dollars. This year, $50.68 billion dollars. So it's a slight increase, but they are earning that revenue. Um, they also do break it down. Loss from continuing operations before income taxes, they lost $4.8 billion compared to last year, which they gained $2 billion. And over the 9-month period, they've lost 1.1 billion compared to gaining 12 billion last year. Total segment operating income, they did earn approximately $1.1 billion, but last year on this same period, they gained 3.9 billion, which is a 72% drop. Um, now the revenues are not the only thing you should look at when you're looking um, at their sheets. Now they do break it down based on uh, their media networks, and so far their media networks has been where their income has been coming from, despite a small drop in the quarter by 10%. They're still gaining over the 9-month period, up 8%. And again, this is with their cable networks. You see, here we go. Yeah, Disney Plus. Yeah, they did not have Disney Plus last year. This came in just a few months ago. Uh, this represents a number of subscribers in millions. So they got 57.5 million people subscribed to Disney Plus. They got a huge increase on ESPN Plus. Last year, they had 2.4 million subscribers. That jumped up to $8.5 million. And that's more that they had an overhaul of how they present their brand. It was something that they really needed. They also own Hulu, and they break that down based on SVOD and Live TV Plus SVOD. And they had increased their subscriber count to 35.5 million. Now, when you go to their revenues, in grand total, Hulu, they have earned a $68.1 million dollars, which is an increase of 17%. Now, they did have a decrease on ESPN Plus. Now the main revenue has come from Hulu's live TV and SVOD. Disney Plus, we only have the amount gained from this year, which is $4.6 million. And remember, that's just for this quarter. Now, as I was about to say, the other thing you have to consider on their financial sheets is their expenses. If I can find their expenses, capital expenditures and depreciation expense, and all these are in millions of dollars. Media networks, they have $49 million as far as expenditures and depreciation. Same thing with broadcasting, 48 million. So total net on media networks, $97 million. Now to explain, depreciation is that if you have if you have equipment, their value goes down over time. So you have to account for that as far as when it needs replaced. If you're going to sell it, what is its value over time? Now, here's their parks. Now, domestic, that's for California and Florida. They put up $1.8 billion in expenses for their international parks, which is Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and Paris, only $625 million. Now, keep in mind that Florida is much, much bigger, as they have four parks and two. I'm sorry, four theme parks and two water parks, plus their hotels. And keep in mind that Florida has many more hotels than it does in California. California, Disney only has three official hotels over there. So that's pretty much breaking it down. And so that when they add it all up over the 9 month period, total depreciation, they've put it at $2.3 billion. Now we compare to revenue. Yeah, they should have an overall, because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have your your income on one column, and then your expenses and capital on another column. Yeah, I've suddenly turned into an economics class here, so I apologize for that. So I'm just trying to break this down so you can understand where all this is coming from, as far as why they're laying everyone off. So revenues, $11.7 billion. Costs and expenses, $11.728 billion. Restructuring and impairment charges, 5.07 billion dollars. So yeah, if you want to look at the whole financial statement, they're out in public. All you have to do is just do a search for them and just take a look at the whole thing. But if you look at their balance sheets, if you look on the top, you have assets. That's one column, and then liabilities and equity on the other column. Now, when you do your accounting, your assets should match both your liabilities and equity, and they're showing, as far as our assets, $207 billion. So that's how much that they're worth. Now, like I said, their current liabilities, they said as far as their total liabilities, they are at $30.917 billion. And they also have borrowed money right below that, $54 billion. I don't know where that came from. You have to do a little more digging on that. But yeah, just putting all that out there. Okay, enough Disney talk. Let's move on to something else. Yeah, I came across this. Now, we all know that the virus has been a big problem out there. It's just here in the United States. So we have about, what was the last count on how many were killed? Because I know we passed the 200,000 mark. I think we're getting close to 300,000. I have to take another look, but we're not the only ones. In some farms in Utah, and I know there was another place, but Utah was the main place. Over 8,000 minks died from this virus, and in a lot of them, they died within a day. And it's currently not known why they are so susceptible to it. But this was because of an outbreak that occurred on the farm, and then it spread to the minks. So what they did was that any minks that were infected, that died from the virus, they were either buried or they were incinerated, because they usually sell the minks for their pelts, and they've said that they have not sold any of those minks off their property. But they also said that so far it looks like it's a one-way transmission. Apparently it can transmit from humans to minks, but not the other way around. And again, we're still trying to understand why that is. Yeah, because there's still a lot that we're trying to understand about it. Uh, this I saw this headline and this puzzled me. Joe Arpaio. Now, for those outside the state, if you don't know who he is, this guy here, he is notorious for being a hardcore sheriff, a hardcore conservative. Um, now he now he is on Cameo. Now I have used Cameo before. Cameo is a website which you can get personalized videos from different celebrities and pretty much anyone, anyone that's currently out there, or if someone that's D list. But now, what was puzzling here? Yeah, now he does his videos for $30, and Twitter and brought up what appears to be a cameo in which he wishes good luck to the organizers of an upcoming furry convention. Now, does it say which one in particular? Yeah, I'm not quite sure which one it is, but I do find that very strange that well, if someone would have had to request him to make a video, so but which yeah, no, which convention is in Arizona? Uh, Arizona FurCon? I don't even think they're having theirs. Are they? You know, where is Arizona FurCon up here, or have they already done theirs? Yeah, Arizona FurCon. Yeah, usually held in late October. Yeah, so far I don't again, don't hold me on this. I'm not sure if this is the one that he was talking about. But let me take a quick look in here. Well, they haven't really updated the page since last year. They did have a COVID update. Yeah. But once again, this is just a one con in Arizona. So again, don't hold me to that. Again, I am. It doesn't say specifically which one that it is, but that article came up, and I was just puzzled by that. Um, but that is pretty much all that is going on as far as furry stuff. As far as over here in our state, we usually have a Thanksgiving meet over here, but that is not going to happen this year, since there would be a big gathering, and we still have a limit on gatherings here, and I believe it's gone up to 50, if I'm correct. We're currently in phase 3. But yeah, which was the third of the last of the phases that were announced. So where we go from there, I don't know yet. But that's pretty much all that's going on. So I'll keep you guys up to date, and